Hi class, this is Dr. Humpage. I want to do a quick video that's going to give you 3 big tips for this course. So if you do these 3 things in the course, you're going to score better and you're going to find that the course is easier. The first tip I have, if you look at this course menu tab, there's a bunch of stuff there, and the one at the top is announcements. So if I click announcements, it's going to give you the whole feed for all the announcements in the course. Having said all that, it's really important that you read every announcement I make in the course. It's really the one spot that I have to let everyone in on important information or to direct people to things they need to find. The single biggest mistake I see students make in online courses is not read every announcements. They're just missing so much when they don't read the announcements. So consider it required reading in the course. Please read all the announcements for the course. That is tip 1. If I go back into the course menu and I go into the learning modules, we've got kind of a timeline of the course here. It runs down modules 1 through 8. You've got a Start Here module that has the syllabus, so that's pretty good. It's good to know where that is. I keep a copy of the syllabus next to me at all times, so I know when things are due in the course and what's coming up. I suggest you do the same. It's got a link to your textbook, and it's got this tab here that says assignment information. And this is going to be tip 2. So tip 2 in this course is to look at this tab and find all your guidelines and rubrics and read them and understand what they're saying. Each of these guidelines and rubric sections, or little, I guess, guidelines and rubric documents, have all the little micro tasks that you're going to have for every assignment. So it's just really important that you read through these and understand what the assignments are that we're asking you to do. Not reading these is kind of like playing golf, but not knowing where the hole is. So, there's a lot contained in these. They're pretty detailed, but it's just so important that you at least read it over and try to discern, okay, what are the tasks? What am I being asked to do on this assignment? Okay, so this is where they're all located in this assignment information section. So just get familiar with that. Read these guidelines and rubrics as we move through the course and these assignments come up on you. Okay, so that's tip 2. You can always come back here and know what your guidelines and rubrics are. Okay, tip 3 in the course. As a quick aside, every student in the course really should just kind of follow each of the learning modules week by week. Each learning module contains cool stuff, like this in week 1 contains some extra resources. It contains the assignments that are due. It tries, the learning modules try to embed the rubrics in them, so you get another chance to see those. What I really suggest for students when they look at a learning module is to kind of step back, take a deep breath, and see all the things in the module that are maybe there for you to help you out. And of course, it'll have your assignments that are due that week. So, general strategy for the course, just kind of work through your modules on a weekly basis and read them, and you should be okay, and you should pretty much know what to do. But let me move on to big tip 3. So big tip 3 is that you can do, and I suggest that you do, all of your projects inside the textbook. Our textbook is pretty cool, and I like using it as a teacher because it contains an interface for you to complete your projects inside the textbook. If you look on page 2-31, you'll see that your first milestone project that's due in Module 2, this graphic organizer, it appears in your textbook. And it goes through really nicely what the goals are and really kind of reiterates what's on those guidelines and rubric documents. So it kind of just takes you through those again and gets you really prepared for what you're supposed to do. I kind of like, it's great that they just have this question, because I think that's the question online students have, is what am I supposed to do? Well, here you are. It's in your textbook as well. So between looking at those guidelines and rubrics in the course and then seeing them again in your textbook, you should really know what your tasks are and what the goals are for each assignment. As I scroll down, it gives you some instruction on using writing templates. It reviews the grading rubric again. So just really awesome, great thing. And, again, you should be reading your textbook. We have assigned readings every week. First week is chapter 1. I expect you to read all this week. If you don't read it, you really don't have much fuel to do anything else in the course. So, it sounds a bit cliche, but reading is fundamental, correct? So, you're just going to have to read everything that's assigned to you. And then when you get to these sections in the book that are regarding your milestone assignments, you're going to be in a great shape, because you're going to have read everything and you can jump right into the assignment and work in this textbook and get it done. So very cool thing. I wish I had it in undergrad many years ago. This is an example here of one of the writing templates. And so you'll see, it's really trying to set you up with a specific task that you can answer. Note that, in these writing templates, you should really write 3 to 5 sentences. I encourage you to finish the task completely. Try to avoid the one sentence answers. Try to avoid phrases as answers. You really do try to want to give a short paragraph here. It's always better to say more. Trust me, what you don't want to do as a college student is not answer something enough. It's better to maybe feel like you wrote a little too much. Because the more detail you give me, the more fuel I have to award points and award you a good grade. So you really want to try to complete the task the way they describe it here, and it's going to help you out. Another quick tip with these writing templates is that sometimes you'll come across something where maybe you haven't read a whole lot about it yet. So a great example is in week 2, we're going to be doing this graphic organizer, and some things we will have gone over in the course by then. So like neuroscience, we talk about that in chapter 2. So you should be pretty prepared to talk about neuroscience. But for example, the psychodynamic perspective in psychology, we don't have a ton of exposure to it yet by week 2. Your textbook has this cool search function, and I can demonstrate it because I've been practicing on it. So I just will type in psychodynamic, because that's the topic that we're wanting to get some information on, and we hit go. And we get pages of things in the textbook that cover that topic of psychodynamic perspective. We've got some of the introductory stuff here, but then it looks like in chapter 5 we sort of get into the meat of psychodynamic theory. So I can skip ahead to page 5.7, and we've got some cool stuff about Freud there. We've all heard of him. He's kind of the father of psychoanalytic thought, and then the Neo-Freudians were kind of expanded that into psychodynamic thought. But bottom line is you should have some good context to finish your assignment with. So you can look at those pages, and you can dip back into chapter 2 and get back to your writing template. And there you are. You'll have some fuel to complete this in 3 to 5 sentences. So again, not only are you reading the book week by week based on how the course is assigned, but you can use the book as a reference to do the assignments you have. And pretty much everything you need is in the book. I can't really think of anything that you wouldn't find in the book. You're always free to use outside resources that are appropriate. But this is just a great little function in the book, and it's fast and it just works. It's just one of those things that works. So I suggest you use it. And then, after you use these writing templates, you have an option to download what you did onto a Word document. And then you can submit those documents as the milestone assignments. So really cool thing to have in your textbook. It really syncs up well with what the projects are and the demands of the course. And I think overall it's pretty well designed. For the different courses I've taught at Southern New Hampshire, this one's really well designed, and it's one that I really enjoy teaching for that reason. So in summary, those are the big 3 tips. So quick summary of those. 1, read all your announcements. They're right here for you. I like writing them, and I hope you like reading them all. Tip 2, in the learning modules, the section that has assignment information. Know where that is and refer back to it. Know what you have to do. Check those out. It's going to save you a ton of time. And then finally, tip 3, in your textbook, know that you have these writing templates that guide you through those assignments. They sync up with those guidelines and rubrics in the learning modules there, and it's just a great way to keep yourself on track. So thanks for listening to the video here. And as always, when things come up in the course or you have questions, shoot me an email or use the general questions tab, and I hope that you'll be able to mobilize those 3 tips into a good result. Take care.